It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. Or come on by Milberger's at 1604 in Bulverde Road and ask your gardening question in person, like this nice young lady. Here, grab the mic. You want to introduce yourself in case you know somebody that's listening? Your name is?
My name is Layla.
Hi, Layla. What's your question?
How come ladybugs don't bite?
How can ladybugs what?
Ladybugs.
Oh, ladybugs.
Mm-hmm.
What about them?
How come they don't bite like the fire ant?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, they don't tackle fire ants. Aphids. Their main target is aphids.
Yeah.
So that's what they eventually get into get them. I don't think you dare say control, but get partial control with it, usually with aphids or some of the other smaller insects. Fire ants are very difficult.
No, fire ants, yuck. Yeah. Do you have ladybugs?
I've seen one, and they're very cute.
Yeah, they are kind of cute. So what kind of plants do ladybugs like?
They like anything where there's aphids, but we see them on milkweed for sure, and we see them on we see them on tomatoes, we see them on all kinds of vegetables. But the thing about the ladybug population, it takes a while for it to catch up to the pests, to the aphids and what other pests that they don't seem to have any impact on mites, though. Spider mites.
You can actually buy some ladybugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They sell, I think Trey sells ladybugs, and we have ladybugs here at Milberger's.
Yeah. You got to be
yeah.
Oh, I was trying to remember what we've had some people say, well, they buy them and then they turn them loose in there.
Then they go away. Yeah, that's the problem.
The neighbors have benefit greatly by them.
Optimum time is dawn and dusk.
Okay. So to release them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
Cool. Well, Layla, thank you for the question.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You have fun. Go buy something fun. All right. 210-308-8867 is our number. You can come by like Layla and ask your gardening question in person.
Were you supposed to give a shout-out on the air or in person?
To Layla?
For Layla. She was asking for a friend. She was going to ask you for a shout-out.
Oh, she said that? I missed that.
Oh.
I'm confused.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He did. Milton did a good job of
I'm so confused.
Well, okay. Yeah, we recognized him. I thought you were going to give a shout-out to her. I thought that's what you told her.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know. Anyway. All right, 210-308-8867. Or give us, or come on by and visit with us here at Milberger's. It's nice, overcast day.
It's a nice day today.
Yeah, it's a little humid, but that's okay.
I'm glad you added that.
Yeah. It's just a bit humid.
Milton always says it's a wonderful day, and then he, thank goodness, he describes the day after that. Humidity or rain or.
It's always a wonderful day with you two gentlemen.
We have intermittent breezes.
Yes.
Well, we could use some intermittent breezes.
About every 5 seconds.
Breezes, yes, with the fan hits, yeah. Okay, so I've got a couple things to bring up. If that's okay, can I bring up a couple things?
Yeah, and then we got lots of things in front of us to talk to.
I also, in anticipation to some questions, I went through the house, the nursery.
Okay.
The house to look to see what we have.
Good.
Things. I'm not going to tell anybody to call, but I'm going to let their mind wander.
So tomorrow we are going to have a guest here at 1 o'clock. This is radio and live radio, so things change. But we're going to have Miss Quinones, who is
the new CEO of the San Antonio Arboretum.
Switch it.
Arboretum San Antonio.
There you go.
Well, they had to be different like that.
What's that?
They had to be different like
that.
Okay.
But that's okay, and it's going to be interesting. I interviewed her for my In the Loop show, and you'll love it. She's a tree hugger. She loves trees.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
So it'll be fun.
It will be fun.
So
we'll learn more about the Arboretum.
Yeah, I was involved in the initial stages on that. Mm-hmm. So it'll be good. I'm glad.
That'll be fun. So she's going to come up here. So you can at 1 o'clock. We'll do that. I'm going to do something. These things always turn out great. We get so much participation. But I do have another idea to make it easier. So tomorrow is
Father's Day.
Father's Day. That's correct. So if you want to call in and just tell us, you can salute your father and tell us what influence they had on your gardening. And you can also, so you can call in and talk about your dad. If they had an influence on your being a gardener. I think she did too. I think she talked about that in the interview, and her dad, the CEO. Or if you want to just email me and tell me a story, I'll read it on the air. So we'll see if this works, but oftentimes it doesn't. But if it does, that'd be great. It'd be kind of nice to salute dads, because I think a lot of people got their gardening chops from their dad.
I did.
Did you?
From my father and my grandmother. His
mother.
Mother.
That's right. You've talked about your grandmother before.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I didn't. I got mine from my grandfather, and my father hated gardening.
Oh, well, let's do it this way. Fathers or grandfathers?
Yeah.
Okay, that counts. If you got it from your grandfather, that's okay too.
Influence. How about that?
There you go. Any maternal? Paternal influence, yes. We'll be fine.
I know the difference.
So, okay.
Well, but that's not uncommon. If you have a relative, a distant relative, who just goes nuts for gardening, and you're like my father was his son, and he was forced into, all the kids there were forced into helping, and they had huge gardens, and my grandfather took great delight, but the kids were busy fulfilling his dreams.
Gotcha.
So that can be a pretty complex issue.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to ask you. Don't tell me now what your grandfather taught you. Okay. So think about it. Do you want to share that? Will you share it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, maybe.
Tomorrow. Okay. And you don't have to if it's personal. And if his words to you were a peach orchard, Calvin, you should have a peach orchard. And you said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to do that." And then now look at you. You shake when you talk about the peaches. 210-308-8867. And okay, so that's that. What is today?
Flag Day.
Okay, I saw a wonderful sight. I drove by a immigration office, and there was a long line out there. There was all these people becoming citizens today on Flag Day.
Really?
Excellent.
Yeah, there must have been.
And there were no National Guard troops or Marines there.
Let's not go there. Just try to enjoy this moment.
Well,
they're becoming citizens.
You got to be careful, Milton, because your enjoyment is
okay.
Tough on other people.
I don't want to get into the. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was a nice sight, and.
So, did you put out your flag?
No, we didn't yet. I forgot about that. We have one.
During the move, I lost mine.
Oh, no.
In your what? Your phone?
No, I moved from the north side to downtown.
Yeah.
So during that move, I lost my flag.
Oh.
So I'm going, well, the Dollar General should have one, right?
The what?
Dollar General or Family
It should,
Dollar
yeah. Family
or
Dollar.
whatever.
You should be able to get a flag there, yeah.
Okay.
Well, any of the big box stores.
Oh, yeah, they could get one there, too. So, all right, that was a nice sight that made me happy. And then, let's see, the other thing I was going to mention. And I was coming back from Encino Library, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary today. And
I'm sorry, what was that? Casino Library?
Yeah, that's right. All right, you've got a $10 fine, but you can roll these dice for, you got a $15 fine. I'm so sorry. All right. No.
Which library? I'm sorry.
Encino.
Okay.
Encino. And I saw the head of the library speak and the assistant city manager. But the master gardeners are out there too, and they're answering questions, and they're doing a nice little fundraiser for Encino too. But it's only till 12:30, so you better hurry.
That is a well-known enclave of master gardeners.
Oh, for Encino, because it has the garden.
They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a lot of great things, but it was always, I used to have to go to speak at the library and other events because there was such a large amount of residents who are master gardeners in that area.
Oh, yeah, that seemed to be. And then there were a lot there today, and there were some on the board and stuff like that. But it was nice. So if you're listening to the radio and you're in that area, go by and congratulate them, wish them a happy birthday. And I think that's all I got. 210-308-8867. I do have to do a shout-out to somebody there who I got recognized. Yeah. Wait, Milton. Your name is Milton. Are you Milton Glueck from Milberger's show? And I said, yes, ma'am.
Was it your wife?
No, it was not my wife. Oh. So we'll give her a shout-out after the event, which ends in a few minutes.
What did she say? You don't look anything like your picture in the post
office?
office?
No, that's probably, I imagine you're much taller. I have had a woman tell me that when we used to have our big band dances. She came up to me, oh, you look much better in my head than you do in person. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I did the opposite. I told Milton that I think he's losing weight.
Thank you, Calvin. I am. A little bit.
So you're involved in a diet program or exercise program?
Just watching what I eat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
Trying to get extra.
Because we talk about our trips, our walking about town.
Okay. Yes.
So I was this morning. I did a couple-mile walk along the river.
Oh.
Along the river walk.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
The Eagle Land and the Mission Reach. So that's what you got to do. You just got to exercise.
Yeah, and then, but, talk about, if you will, we got a couple minutes where we have to go to break, but talk about, like, what people will see if they go walking on San Antonio's trails. I mean, there's lots of stuff. You talked about Walker Ranch, Phil Hardberger Park.
Yeah.
You can, if you're a bird watcher, you can expect to see. I'm estimating right now. This is not the prime migration season, but you still, I would bet, could see. You're talking about 2 mile. Mm-hmm. You could still see 16 or 17 different species of birds.
Along 2 mile stretch, absolutely. And I've mentioned this before, but there are parts of town where you'll maybe see a different slate of species, and then other parts of town you see an entirely different slate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are you saying that if I go to, what's the one way down on 16? Is that Mission something? Mission Park? Mission something?
Way down on 16?
Yeah.
Well, there's Medina Natural Area.
That's the one. That's that park. And there's a nice walking trail there.
Oh, and it connects to the trail.
Oh, to the river? Okay, yes, yeah. You're saying I'll see different trees there than I will at, say, Hardberger Park?
Yes.
Okay. Or Eisenhower Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even the botanical garden is a great place to go, and especially the other thing you're seeing now, finally, are some more butterfly species.
Oh, good.
Other than monarchs, you're not seeing too many of them, but some of the other species are fritillaries, queens, black swallowtails, giant swallowtails, and folks have also seen tiger swallowtails. I haven't seen tigers since we saw them here, but that's another thing if you're do the walking and Mark and Milton are talking about, and you are looking for wildlife. The butterflies are very a lot of species you can see, and then also, of course, the birds.
So can I give another tease for tomorrow?
Sure. What you can do?
There have been several tree surveys by volunteer arborists.
Yeah.
Down in the Arboretum, San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
And we can talk to her about all the unique trees that you don't see anywhere else in or very few in San Antonio, but you only find them down there along the creek.
If I understand, Salado Creek. I understand, too, if I understand correctly, part of the mission is going to be, I don't want to steal any thunder, to really kind of create almost a museum, a tree museum-like atmosphere of showing you what trees are in the area, what indigenous people used. I mean, it's really going to be fascinating. It's a little while away, but it is an opportunity if people want to volunteer to get on the ground floor of something. So we'll talk about that, too.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be good. What's that?
Enough of that.
Enough of that. All right, 210-308-8867. I have another topic, but I'm going to wait until we come back from the commercial break in a few minutes. What else do we need to do? You didn't drop anything this week, right?
No, I didn't drop any videos. I am going to do another one. I'm going to talk to a seed collector and provider on Monday, right after the Gardening Volunteers to South Texas Gardening Essentials on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And that's everyone should go. That'll be a good one.
And what is it on again?
Monica's going to do that, right?
I meant to look at it this morning because I was going to mention the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas.
Yeah, Monica's doing this. Monica's written a new book, and it's.
Oh. Well, there you go. I'm going to be there setting up for the filming. So. All
right, we'll have to get Is it on butterflies? Is it still
no, it's going to be on the. I think it's on useful plants and exciting plants for this area.
We'll have to drop her a line and see if she'll come talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have to find out about the exact topic.
Yeah, we will work on that.
There's another presenter, and I don't remember.
And that's on Monday?
Yeah, Steve Bruska, I think is how he pronounces his name. And he's a seed collector and a grower. And I should read a little bit more about it before I interview him, shouldn't I?
Probably.
Probably, that would be right, Mr. Interviewer?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But that's happening on Monday. And then we're going to go back to Miss Lee Marlowe of the San Antonio River Authority.
Oh.
Always a popular guest.
Very cool.
And we're going to go down there and look at the new parks.
And that's
along Sapendro Creek.
Oh, good. So it's coming up on Monday. What time on Monday?
12:30 to 3.
12:30 to 3. And
it's at the Gardening Center, San Antonio Gardening Center, free parking, of course, as always, and there's free nibbles.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they'll appreciate this suggestion, but I wonder if they might do do they do an occasional one in the evening, or are they always midday?
I don't know. We have to ask Andrew. He's such a
But there are other, like the San Antonio Men's Garden Club.
Sure, I get
First Thursday of every month.
And that's in the evening,
the same
right?
location. That's in the evening.
That's in the evening, too. And I think there's another one.
Well, let's remind everybody it's a great place to go on Monday, and because the topic's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also do some exploring in terms of participating in the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to take any special training. You just have to have interest, and it can be a varied interest.
Mm-hmm.
There's
all kinds of participants.
Dig in the dirt, or get involved in education,
design, or education.
That's where I think
doing videos with me.
Our friend from Chalmette is gonna get to be. I think he's going to start volunteering.
Yeah.
So and I think he's also. I think too. Last time he told us a story about his dad and growing up in gardening. So maybe he'll call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a quick break. Give us a call. Tell us what's going on in your gardening world. 210-308-8867. Back in a moment with more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. I'm Milton Glueck, along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, and we're sitting here at the porch at Millburgers ready to talk gardening with you. So tell us what's going on this pretty day and what you're going to do. I'll tell you something in a second, but I want to tell you right now about Pruski's Meat Market. Okay, tomorrow is Father's Day. We've mentioned that before, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Father's Day holiday or just want to have a nice family meal. You want to serve the best food possible. And when you go to Pruski's Market on Highway 87, you will find the best food possible. Terrific sausage, outstanding beef, outstanding poultry. Calvin is always fond of saying at this point,
oh, sausages.
No.
Potato sausage.
The potato sausage, yes. But also, what's something else you can get there? What's another meat?
Yeah, just see, there's rabbits.
Thank you, rabbit.
Rabbits.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Ducks, too.
Verbena.
Oh, yeah,
viburnum.
Ducks.
Viburnum.
Yeah. No, you don't want viburnum.
Okay. So, but if you're looking for really outstanding meats, the cuts that are customized to you, because you're actually talking to the butcher. It's a real butcher shop.
Well, another thing I like are those trays of food, and they kind of personalize it for you.
I may do that. I may go over.
If you mention mention 2 or 3 of your favorite, they'll include those in that tray, or you can say everything you want on the tray.
And we use the trays for events at the station, and people love them. They were the first thing people hit. They look good. They have great food on them. Listen, you can't go wrong by just doing a Pruski's habit of going out there. I'm going to go out there this week again and visit with the folks on Tuesday, and it's just, you won't be disappointed. You'll love the service. You'll love the food. If you haven't been yet, if you've been, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, go on out there and treat yourself, and you'll like it. You'll find more online at Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, Pruski'sMeatMarket.com. All right, 210-308-8867. I want to be careful on the next topic. I don't know why I'm so wired. I think I had some caffeine. Do you think I had some caffeine?
You could have some caffeine. Would you like some more caffeine?
No, I'm fine. Thank you very much. And that's the rain Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
Yes.
Wow. But yeah, it was great to have rain, but there's some bad news that goes with it.
That was amazing.
You said 11 people?
11 people now.
Well, so far.
They're
still looking.
We still have 5 missing then.
Oh, that's right. I think
4
you're
to 5.
I think you're right.
Maybe 4 to 6 missing. I don't know the exact total. But, and so it was very unfortunate. The vast majority of them were sitting at a light.
Oh, my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
At the light
washed
on
into
the
a stream.
And wow. I don't know what angle the water was coming, but they could see it.
Where was the light?
They were along a frontage road, 410, near Pyramidal. And
there's that stream there?
There's that. If you go from Pyramidal to Austin Highway, there's a huge stream. I don't think it was there. I think it was right before it. Yes. And they actually had time to contact their loved ones.
Oh, my goodness.
A few of them did.
But with so much rain coming so quickly, I don't think it's a drought breaker, but...
No. We still got, I think, Calvin, 31 more feet to go to get just historic.
Well, 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay.
But I'm noticing grass is happier, roses are happier.
There were some trees that I worked on this past week.
Oh.
And both the senior supervisor and myself were going, I think they're looking better since the last time we were out here.
That's
I don't know.
funny.
Maybe it's my imagination. Well, we've had
two big rains.
Two or 3 rains in between the time we first looked at them and the time we got out to them. And we're just going, I think they look better. So, yes, we will see trees that were stressed, bushes that were stressed, grass that was stressed, so all turning greener.
Yeah, the plants in my yard are perkier, and and happy. Of course, there's now lots of mud in our yard, and lots of tree debris from the neighbors and stuff.
Well, and
maybe from us.
The lawnmower companies will be happy because they'll be. If your lawnmower wasn't working as well as you want, you'll need to get it fixed and going.
What do you? So that's the good impact. Do you have anything that you think will be people should watch out for now?
Well, you got to be a little careful because of our lack of our soil situation, and we've got a lot of roots concentrated in the top layer, and if that combination of soil moisture is I don't know what the exact combination is. It depends on the neighborhood and the location, and Mark can go through all the neighborhoods and what kind of soil they have, but you just want to be careful. If you've got any questions, have an arborist look at your trees, and I think generally it'll be positive response, but at least in my neighborhood, it's
perked things up.
Yeah, we're getting, we've got those pecans that were affected by the freezes and the droughts, and then we even had big oak trees that have come down too. So it's just a complex situation right now. Basically, it's a record. For a couple week rain?
Yeah,
a record.
A single day record
for a decade, since a decade or two.
Well, I think we had a single day. We broke a single day record, and then a week's worth we broke. I think,
and
I'm not sure. Right.
And that is following. Basically, a drought, one of our toughest drought periods.
No, and still is, apparently. So, all right. So, yes?
No, it's going to get something to tease if we got to go to a break. But also,
no, we don't have to go to break. What's your tease?
What I was listening to our friend David this morning.
Oh, how's
just
David?
Briefly.
Okay.
And he mentioned something, and so when I got to the store, I went and looked to see what we had. Usually after a drought and then a period of heavy rainfall, we experience fungi.
Oh, okay.
Either in the lawn, people get all upset about that, or on our plants. So lots of times it's not really harmful, but sometimes it will defoliate the plant. I'm thinking roses in particular.
Oh, really?
With black spot.
Oh.
And I don't know. Do you have a solution for black spot, Calvin?
Yeah, I just used the tough modern roses or the old-fashioned roses, and they generally, if they get it, they just get it temporarily and drop the leaves and put new ones on.
Yeah.
But no, it's couldn't be a tough situation, challenging.
So if it's really bad, I went and looked to see what we had. We had various products. We had F-Stop, which is one. We had some a copper-based one, which is also, quote, organic.
Okay.
Now, I also had my favorite.
F-Stop a fungicide, or is that
that's
herbicide?
A fungicide. No, it's fungicide. It's one of the most popular ones. It's easy to remember. F-Stop.
You know what else?
What?
We mentioned the weeds.
Oh.
Bermuda grass and sedge. Nut sedge.
Nut sedge is going to go wild, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So I was looking for sedgehammer, because sedgehammer in your roses, Mark.
Yeah.
If you got nut sedge in your roses, sedgehammer will supposedly, if you follow the rules and using it, you can spray it, and if flower gardens generally it works. Now there's also my favorite product was the other nut sedge. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to be careful with it, because it'll not only takes out sedge, but also a lot of other weeds and plants.
If Trace comes by, there used to be two, and
he's got them both here.
Yeah. And I just remembered sedgehammer because it was so easy to remember.
Sledgehammer is a strange product, though. Have you seen it lately? It's a little packet, and you mix it into a gallon worth of water, and then sprayed, and it translocates into the nutsedge plant and into the roots.
We also have one of my favorite fungicides of all time. It's propiconazole.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the best topical applications, but we also use it for oak wilt inside the tree.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's fabulous. We also have.
Well, is that though? You want a professional to use that, don't you, on your oak wilt trees or what?
Yeah. Well, no. It's labeled for homeowners. Homeowners can do it according to the protocol that we will find on TexasOakWilt.org. I find it's always better to have a professional do it because they understand the rating systems and the dimensions between the holes that you're injecting.
It's not a cheap product either.
No,
so,
it's not.
Yeah, and you're talking about your oak trees that are, worth $10,000 to $20,000 in your landscape.
Yeah.
So it's worthwhile to get an arborist involved if you feel that there's a threat from oak wilt.
Yeah. Agriculture also uses propiconazole on wheat fields and alfalfa fields. It's excellent. But what I was going to say is we do have organic controls.
Okay.
Here we have a copper-based product. We have sulfur-based products. Sulfur was the original 19th century fungicide.
Now, this is just for fungicide.
For fungicide.
It's not oak wilt.
No, oak wilt. I'm going to go just that neem oil, but I would use very light applications. Mm-hmm. And a bicarbonate.
Oh, like baking soda?
Baking soda is potassium bicarbonate, not sodium bicarbonate.
Oh.
This potassium bicarbonate, and it is also an effective fungicide.
So what is the product called? Just potassium?
I don't know what the product is.
Oh, okay.
These were all organic. I looked up early this morning.
Okay, cool.
Because I thought somebody would call in.
Somebody will, and I'm sure, but they won't notice it. How long before people start noticing the impact of the funguses?
There will be spots, usually spots or blotches on the leaves.
What color?
Usually a brown to a dark brown.
Okay, I have white splotches. I'll bring a picture of them tomorrow. Calvin told me what it was, and I'm very upset.
But in general, healthy plants, correct species, correct selections, as Calvin mentioned, usually they just accept it and move on.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't want to wait too long on things like now the fungicide. If we get into some dry weather, normal summer weather, the fungicide, a lot of our plants will grow through it. But if you see some symptoms, and also don't hesitate. Well, not only that, you need, if you're going to use a herbicide or a pesticide of any kind, you need to review the label, make sure you got the right product for what you're trying to accomplish, and also you follow the requirements for using the products, or they won't work, or it's environmentally a challenge. It might be threatening your garden and not appropriate for use in your garden. So it's not a simple task.
So this is a shout out, I guess, to all fathers.
Okay.
Remember to read the instructions.
Are you saying that men don't read the instructions?
I'm not saying anything.
I don't know what. Yeah, you're saying. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. Other than mosquitoes, do you expect any other insect increases with the rain?
No. Mosquitoes, a little no-see-ums.
Okay.
Maybe some ticks out there.
Oh, you think the ticks like the rain?
Yeah. Well, no, it's nice, favorable conditions, new growth. They'll be out there. Chiggers as well.
There'll be a few gnats.
Gnats, yeah.
I said
the no-see-ums, the gnats.
Will the fire ants come from below because of the water?
Actually, the fire ants will, yes. Their tunnels, their surface tunnels will get some moisture, and so they kind of have to dig them, and so their hills will come up.
Generally, after a rain in a pasture, all of a sudden we'll see new mounds.
Okay. And it's amazing because you'll see them in your yard even. You say, I didn't know I had fire ants.
Yeah, because they just come up. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But there's a number of products that you can use to control fire ants, too. So
yeah, look under Texas two-step. That was the most popular. It's a drench plus bait.
Okay.
Essentially. All
right. 210-308-8867. We're up against a break, so we'll take it real quick and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. Give us a call. What's going on? How much rain did you get? What are you noticing? 210-308-8867. There's lots of folks out here, so come on out and enjoy the great gardening, the great plants at Milberger's, 1604 and Boulevardy Road. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. To Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. I'm Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson and Dr. Calvin Finch. We're ready to help you with your next gardening adventure. What you going to do? So 210-308-8867. Call us or come by. We'd love to visit with you in person. You don't even have to come on the air. It's okay. I'll look disappointed, but we'll answer your question either way. So 210-308-8867. Yes,
some pretty outstanding plumbagos there, both the whites and the blues.
Oh, they moved them. They sure did.
Yeah.
Then the other thing was, Milton, we had that customer that came up here before the show and was describing a plant.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, it turned out, we were lucky. He described
Was he the one that had the toenail fungus?
Long leaves and blue flowers, and also he had white flowers. And there it is, right there. And it was just one of those lucky things. You mean like that Ruellia over there? Yeah. But they look really nice, too. They're pretty spectacular.
All right, 210-308-8867. I think we know this guy. Greg is on the line at 210-308-8867. Greg, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How you doing?
Good, gentlemen. How are y'all today?
We're doing okay. Where are you running around today?
I'm in Dallas this weekend.
That's okay. Good. All right.
But I did want to call in. I got a couple things, but I wanted to just mention, Milton, that once again, the Sinisa has proven to be the most accurate rain predictor that we have.
I agree.
Don't rub it in. I've agreed with him reluctantly.
But you could hear his sadness in his voice as he agreed with me.
But Greg, this was not a subtle rainstorm there.
The blooms weren't subtle either.
It was pretty decisive. If it had any attempt or capability of predicting rain, this one would be able to be predicted.
Yeah, but they were blooming more than normal, so I think they were saying we're going to get more rain than normal.
See, again, I'm going to agree with you. It was so intense, it just had to be an intense.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have to agree with them, too.
All right, woohoo! Good night, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Reluctantly.
I was going to say from when I left D'Hanis, I saw some wild Sinisa, and then through Hondo and Castroville, where they had it planted, every single one of them were as thick as that bloom of the picture I sent you. So in my opinion, I think there's some relationship between the amount of bloom and the amount of rain that you get, right?
That's where I'm going. I've never heard that, but they were ready.
I don't know. We'll have to keep it under scrutiny for scientific scrutiny.
It's a new theory that we have, so we'll have to watch it.
That's right. Well, we keep refining the theory as we go. So.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of D'Hanis.
Oh, okay.
Did you see any trees pushed over or broken? Or I've heard reports of tornadic activity.
Oh, wow, really?
No, but I was I left last Sunday. I was there.
Okay, all right.
Before the big rain, but. Yeah, and I don't I don't think anybody's been back to the ranch since the event. So I'll pay attention though if they had any damage.
Okay.
But I wanted to add one more thing. So I can't remember when I called in. It's been several months ago. I had called with a question of taking Turk's cap seeds from one that blooms pink, and would I get pink flowers from those seeds? And I think Mark had speculated that they could regress back to the natural red. And I've got a bit of a report on that. So finally had the seeds germinate. Late March. Got a bunch of them in the ground, and of the pinks, I planted 10 pinks, and exactly 5 of them have shown pink blooms. The other 5 have been red.
Oh, okay.
50-50
it's
there.
almost Mendelian, Mendelian genetics, Mendel's.
Oh, okay.
Because it would have been perfect if it was 5 pink, 2 or 3, 2 red, and or 3 red and 2 kind of a mix.
Yeah, and they're still pretty young plants, but the seeds all came from the same mother plant, and about a 50-50 ratio.
Yeah. Well, that's, with that small sample, that's real consistent with what Mark's theory would be.
So that is why the producers will always use twigs.
Transplant. Vegetative
regeneration.
Oh, okay.
That's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the scientific word. So.
No, okay. Yeah, no, it's been very interesting. But those for anybody that likes Turk's cap, and I'm a huge fan of them. Collect those seeds because they're really easy to generate or germinate, and it's an easy way to kind of expand your crop. So.
Now there are some plants that you would expect to get almost 100% of what the seed source looked like tomatoes for a while.
Oh, okay.
And they over 6 or 7 years they would decline or change.
My neighbor was asking me that same thing, and I went for a while.
Because we have a lot of gardeners that get a favorite tomato variety, and then they keep the seed, and then 6 or 7 years down the line they figure out it's not the same anymore.
I didn't know how many would be sterile or viable or what, because you have to think that the tomato seed companies want you to buy new seeds every year, new transplants. So I don't know what the viability is.
And plus they're competitive.
Yeah.
And new varieties that come up when preferences change and the performance changes, and then of course we've gotten to the point now where these are a lot of these tomato varieties are machines. Maximize fertilization, maximize access to water, pretty predictable in when they're going to be producing fruit.
Their color and size and production.
Well, on that topic, I don't know if this is related, but the BHN 968, I bought the original plant. Actually, they're from Milburgers and brought it home, and I've been germinating seeds the last couple of years off that original plant. And this year, this year, that's been the first tomato plant that really produced a ripe tomato, and the fruits have been slightly bigger. They're not twice as big as normal. But I've noticed they've been slightly bigger. Now they still taste fantastic. But I wonder if that is a little bit of kind of each generation.
I don't know, but I'm blessing you for doing the work.
Yeah.
Well, and I've got 7 of the plants that are finally blooming now.
Oh,
968?
Just blooming?
Yeah, BHN 968.
Just blooming, or they've been blooming?
And I'm blessing you.
And Well, it took a long time to get them started.
Okay.
But now they're going pretty strong, and I only had one of the peppers come up.
Oh, and is it producing peppers?
It started to bloom now.
All right. Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, my Rio Grande Gold. I had of the 5 or so seeds I planted, one became, it looked strong enough, and I finally put it in the garden, and it kind of struggled. I think it kind of set back, maybe a week or so. But then once we got this rain up here and we started getting a little warmer, man, that thing, it's about 1.5 foot tall now. It's not blooming yet, but I think it's just a matter of time before that one starts producing.
Did you harvest some of the BHN 968s? Do they still taste as good as we would? Are you still?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that plant, I mean, it's going gangbusters. I bet I've got 50 fruits on it right now.
Yeah.
And each day there's 2 or 3 that are orange enough to eat, and so it's a nice little treat to get home from work and check the garden and get a couple of bites every day. So.
Well, I'll soon be able to do that, but in the meantime, I've been able to do it with my Ruby Crush. They've been producing up a ton.
How did I guess that, Milton? How did I
guess
I
don't know.
He was going to say that?
And
they're good. His Ruby Crush are really good.
And the rodeo tomatoes, and I've got tycoons and celebrities. They're going strong too.
And if you want a good one, did you get a rodeo tomato this year, Greg?
No, I did not. I'm still kind of feeding off the Thunderbird from a few years ago, and those I grew from seed, and they're doing well. I've got a bunch of fruits there that are of size. They're still green, but I think I'm going to start probably plucking a few of them just before the bugs get to them. But those are doing well from seed too.
Yeah, well, that's one of my favorite too. I did one of those, broke my own rule. We had some Thunderbirds here, and I said, well, I don't have time to pick them up and go take them and plant them. And then, of course, the next day they were all gone, so I never did get any Thunderbirds in the garden this year.
What is it on?
But that's one of my favorites. That's done really well.
You brought some and shared them. Was that Thunderbird or was that
that was
98, 81, 48?
Yeah, 8148.
Yeah, it's making me look like a genius. If you a tomato growing genius. So if you get a chance for next year, if they still have them out here, get one of those just to try it, Greg.
Well, and that's
I can try to collect some seeds. That would be a new adventure for me.
We expect from the rodeo tomato is to perform at least as well as the other varieties, but some of them.
I couldn't time my trips down there this year when y'all had them available, so I missed out this year. But
that's okay.
Those have typically been very good tomatoes that they are. They promote there at the rodeo.
Well, the ones that you're mentioning, the Thunderbird, the Tycoon, the Celebrity was or was not a rodeo tomato?
I think it was
a
long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas Superstar, maybe.
Oh, okay, maybe.
But most of those that we still recommend are rodeo tomatoes.
All right. So if I watch your video, Mark, that's soon to drop, will I learn how to collect seeds from my 8148?
You mean the one I'm going to do on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Good. Huh?
I will.
Well, I don't know exactly what we're all going to talk about, but I'll ask. I'll make sure.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I'll make that a homework assignment, and I'll take one of the tomatoes, and I don't know if it's going to work or not.
I was thinking of that's what I got to do for my neighbor for the Sweet 100. He wanted some, and I collected a few this morning to dry out.
So will it kind of hurt if we talk about that after the news? How to take your seeds from tomatoes and stuff? And what?
No, it's just a messy process.
Okay.
Well,
Greg, is it a messy process?
You may want to not put that pressure on Mark. He may want to do his research before, because each of those folks he's dealing with has philosophy or a technique that they use.
Well, I can't wait 3 weeks. I got tomatoes now. Greg, thank you so much, man. Come by and visit us when you're back in town. Always fun talking to you. All right, you too. We're going to take a quick break. Apparently, we are up against a break. And come back in just a moment. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Come visit us. We're live here at Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road, where it's absolutely gorgeous and it's a pretty day, and we sure want you out here. So back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Boulevardy Road. Come on to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. I'm Milton Glueck with Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch, sitting on the porch talking gardening, but we'd love to talk about your gardening situation and how we can help you reach that gardening dream that you have. What's the problem you're having, or maybe there's something you want to plant. Our guest tomorrow is going to be the CEO of the, and I'm forgetting, Adriana Quinones. And she's going to talk about this, but yeah, she said it was kind of a culture shock because she came from Georgia here, and she said there are different plants in Georgia that you can grow you can't grow here.
But sure,
we can't grow the pines.
Oh, that's true.
We are very limited in our selection of pines.
Yeah. So, okay, gentlemen, we talked during the break about what we wanted to talk about next, which was the article or seed collection, or Calvin was pointing to some plants that are out there. Where do y'all want to go? I'll let you choose.
I want to suggest Calvin's article. It's a great article on peaches are popular, but these are easier to grow.
Okay.
And I thought that was a great title, too.
Well, and I think some folks are pretty close to harvesting some figs at this point. It depends on your variety, and it depends on your condition.
Mm-hmm.
I had some gardener send me an email that said that her plant really looks great now. Got knocked out by the freeze, but it's put new foliage on, but no fruit yet.
Huh.
And I think some of the varieties. I think was it Texas Everbearing?
Yeah, you want to just mention those? You talked about brown turkey, Celeste, and Texas Everbearing.
Yeah, I think I was trying to remember if the Texas Everbearing or the brown turkey is the one that will have both spring and fall figs.
Maybe by the name. Texas Everbearing?
Could be.
Maybe
it's the one I have. It's pretty loaded. And I noticed the birds are there kind of checking it out, too.
Oh.
The mockingbirds and the cardinals. They're all seeing if they were getting ripe yet. But the other thing is, Mark, I mentioned in there, just reminded, but in the old days, we were pretty conscientious about recommending putting mulch over the root system in a fig. And if you get a lot of rainfall, you don't maybe have to do that, but that works. And then another thing is if you got drip irrigation, a regular irrigation, you can really maximize production of a fig plant. Although a fig will produce and grow, survive with just the rain we get here.
Right, and that's why it's always the top three fruit trees that I recommend are citrus, figs, and I like pears. But you also mentioned blackberries, and that's easy to grow, which are truly easy to grow if you get a nice long sleeve shirt and get in there.
Well, and some gardeners, like they did with me, will say, "Hey, what about the thornless blackberries?" And I haven't had great luck with the thornless blackberries. Now, it's been a few years since I've tried them, and there's some new, I think Arapaho and Apache are available.
But what you're saying is production-wise, you haven't had great luck with production.
What happened with me is that they got later in the season each year, and then pretty soon it was too late. I mean, they weren't producing, whereas the ones we're used to, our Brazos and our Kiowa and
Rosenberg.
Yeah, they are pretty consistent every single year on producing. But Mark's right. The key, there's two. I mentioned two key things in the article on blackberries. I think they're two. Number one is you've got to remove the old foliage, and there are thorns, and the timing is pretty important.
So when do you remove them?
You move them after you've harvested the fruit is the best time, but you got commercial professionals. They do it all. They start removing after they harvest, but they don't get it done. Sometimes they don't get it done until the winter time. So that is it. And then the other thing is that. And Milton, I think, is familiar with this.
I don't know what he's talking about. I was never there.
The blackberries and the insects, stink bugs.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
You remember the stink?
Yes. Someone brought me a big bucket of blackberries with stink bugs all over them.
What?
Yes.
And the thing about which surprised me a little bit is that if you've got an infestation of stink bugs on your blackberries, quite often you can taste it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you see stink bugs, you probably want to have some Alphion ready.
And is that the one that Trace just vacuums off with his?
Yeah, and that's another option. I did not mention that, but you could try that.
Yeah.
He talks about using a vacuum cleaner.
Shop vac. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, or the handheld one.
Oh, I didn't know about the handheld one.
The thing about stink bugs that are challenging is that they're big, they're active. They're not, if you got soapy water or some of the organic controls, they don't seem to faze them much. They're pretty tough. So
every time I see them, I think of WWE. It's like I hear in the background, "Let's get ready to rumble." You're going to fight with the stink bugs.
Oh,
so that just
because they are big and
and keep your eyes open on them when they especially if you let the fruit go a long while before you harvest it.
Are you likely to see the damage before you see the stink bugs, or the stink bugs before you see the damage?
You see the stink bugs.
Okay.
But I guess you could if you were... a lot of times what happens is somebody goes on a trip or something, and they come back, and the stink bugs have been there, and then they harvest the big bucket of them and are so proud of them, and then they taste them, and then you get the stink bug.
All three of the fruit we mentioned, they could be on citrus too.
Oh, really? And figs?
I haven't.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
I haven't had any problem.
I think on peaches, maybe I think I've seen.
Oh, yeah, peaches for sure.
Okay.
Peaches and blackberries. Now, I haven't had any problem. The problem that I have with figs is sharing them with the birds.
Oh. Speaking of figs, by the way, just because if you're interested, we do have figs on sale right now, 25% off. Choose from the varieties available. So if you're kind of inspired, are your figs ripening yet?
Yeah,
I haven't harvested any yet, but they're close.
They're close.
I was going to say about the third week of June, which we're
getting close.
We're getting close.
Okay.
To.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And then throughout July.
Now the thing about the citrus, of course, is that the main issue with the citrus is the weather. the cold weather protection. Even those varieties that we identify as most cold tolerant.
Yeah.
Did you have a question, sir? Can you come ask it on the air with us? Okay, grab that mic. You'll be on the air, and these guys will be able to help you.
Wonderful. Yes, well, wonderful. So my question is, we have a couple 5-foot plumerias, and when's time to either try to cut them and make other smaller ones, or one of the other issues we're also having, that they do not flower. They seem to have wonderful, beautiful greenery, but they do not flower. But as my understanding is, maybe we need to put them in direct sunlight, or they need more sunlight.
Okay.
Well, that would be my guess on the flowering is sunlight. Now, have you ever had them flower?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Now talk in the mic so we can hear you.
No, yes, they have flowered before, but we have them on the porch now, and they've grown beautifully, wonderful greenery, and they seem to be nice and healthy, and they're growing, but I think they need more sunlight.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
that's a key. Another thing on your when do you transplant them? I think most gardeners do it when they are putting them in the protection from the cold weather. You know, when you got.
Which is going to lead to your other question.
Right.
Yeah. So when they, so you put them out of the cold weather, and so then you can cut some up.
That's the time to start
divide them.
Cut them and then put them into protect them and put them.
And then a lot of time with it sounds like yours with all that foliage and everything, you might have some stems break and fall. They all will all sprout.
Okay.
You just put them in another container and
right on.
They will.
Yes.
But I think that blooming thing is the key. There is the sunlight.
More sunlight.
And it always kind of amazes me. I don't know, Mark, if you feel the same. But they look like they're fragile in terms of the sun, but they don't seem to be fragile in terms of the sun.
Right.
They'll take it full sun.
Yeah.
Now, are you providing them any fertilizer? What kind?
Miracle
the Miracle Grow. Okay, so the liquid one, the liquid. No. Okay.
Does she just does? I'm trying to avoid silence on the radio, so that's okay. What do you do? Yeah,
there you go.
I just use soil, the dirt.
Okay. The granular one. Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea concept is, if you provide too much nitrogen, they put more energy in the leafing out and less in bloom. So but the Miracle Grow is fairly balanced. So,
but it's not much nutrient in there really. You might want to try a little extra Osmocote too, especially if it's like. Is it used new soil every year?
Yeah.
Every spring.
Okay.
Every spring?
Well, I think I'd experiment a little bit, get some Osmocote and try that too.
Osmocote.
But I think the key is going to be the sun.
The sun, yeah. No, they're.
What color were they when they were blooming?
They were white.
Oh, very nice.
They were white.
Yeah.
It was one tree.
Now go ahead and get her on the mic.
We went from one tree to now maybe 6 or 7.
Oh, cool.
They're still now multiplying.
Right.
That's
they
great.
continue.
Well, obviously you don't have any trouble getting them to start new plants.
Come to the neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There you go. Just give them out. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So they
try that, and you've got enough. You can experiment a little bit. Put them a few of them in absolute full sun, like afternoon.
Oh, we're going to try that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that wonderful tip.
Yeah,
we want to enjoy them.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the air with us.
Yes, thank you.
All right, 210-308-8867. Got another question from the crowd here. Will you come on the air with us? Okay, grab that microphone and you'll be on the air. What's going on?
My tomatoes look like they've been invaded by some alien from a...
Give the bag to Calvin.
Yeah, give the bag to Calvin. We don't want to touch it.
From some foreign land, not foreign land, like a foreign planet. Another...
What variety are they?
Tycoon.
Tycoon.
Should you be opening that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah.
I got bit by something. What was that?
Talk to this guy about.
Yeah, get away from me. Do you see anything that you don't like on there?
Save yourselves.
Run, Forrest.
Nice. Very nice.
Was there a lot of wind damage?
No, it's in a fairly sheltered area.
Okay.
And this is only 2 out of my 6 favorite plants. And last year it was just tomatoes for the whole neighborhood. Now 1 or 2 here and there, and then this is what's taken over 2 of the plants.
Is it curling?
I don't see the any spider mites. Any kind of any chance there's a herbicide that's got accidentally on it?
Not accidentally. I bought some stuff over here to try to combat the fungus among us, that kind of thing. Keep stuff from growing, but it's approved.
Yeah, no, fungicides usually don't affect the plants like that.
You don't have any fruit?
Nope. Well, 1 or 2, like not on these plants. On these plants, dead. Not dead. They're growing with this stuff on them. The other 4 plants have got 1 or 2. But again, not like last year when we fed the whole neighborhood.
So what do you think, Calvin?
But the other plants that are not showing
don't have that, whatever that is. So you think this is like maybe something that's happened since I planted them, or is this came from the nursery this way, like you're talking about chemical?
Well, I don't think they came from the nursery that way.
I don't think you would have bought them.
Where'd you buy them?
Down the aisle here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Because all of us, I mean,
you can't
we would have hundreds of gardeners.
We would have experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see this quite often, like on wind damage against the tomato cage.
Oh, yeah?
But you don't think any wind damage.
No.
And they're not, are they in full sun? But in past years, they've had fruit in that same spot.
Sun, like 75%. In the late afternoons, tree shade takes over.
Okay. So
there's shade?
No fruit.
And the site is the same as it was last year.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's the same.
So, mystery?
Yeah, it is a mystery.
You got any theories?
And
I'm with. Initially, I thought there was a drift somewhere.
So,
yeah, is there what? But you use the same amount of that fungicide.
Yeah,
on both sets of plants.
Bottle. Yeah, it's a spray bottle, spraying them all, trying to keep. It says combination insecticide, fungicide. There's a third factor I don't remember.
Yeah.
All purpose.
It's actually triple something in the name.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what you're gonna. The good news is that we're at the point
end of the season.
Yeah, and then you can try another crop.
When does that go in?
Oh, like second week in July or third week in July.
That soon? Good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
No problem then. I'll do that. Rip those out.
But it would be great if you could figure this out, especially since you've had good luck in the same location.
Yeah, if it does this again, I'll come see you again in July.
Yeah.
The only other thing that crosses my mind is what time of the day did you spray?
Oh.
If you remember.
He's thinking.
Probably late morning after mowing the yard.
Yeah.
After.
So I would read the label and check on the temperature. If there's a temperature, it's too hot.
Yeah, possibility.
Okay. So I said do it before you mow the lawn.
Yeah, early in the morning. Is that the secret?
At dusk or dawn.
Okay, good.
Let's also try to describe this symptom and some of our gardeners out there that maybe have had the same.
Well, it's like an old movie I saw a million years ago when this creature from this foreign planet landed and had all this scaly
Yeah, it's likely that happened too.
Yeah.
That happens more than you know. We get lots of calls.
Almost,
alien. Yeah.
almost looks like a
Scale.
no, like a It does look like a fungus or a spray burn.
Burn from the spray. Well, that could be it because I really hosed them down.
From my distance, it looks like a. Oh, now you're going to give it to me. Why didn't you want to give me that?
No mask, no gloves.
Yeah, didn't even.
No, the curling effect on that. Now, normally there's a little burning associated, but curling is what.
Yeah,
the curling.
You know it.
Garbage.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'll throw it in the garbage.
I'm trying to. It does not look like does not look like any kind of disease that I'm familiar with.
No, exactly. So
There's
everything,
something physical.
All the leaves are green, and I don't see anything. They're just curled. Well, there's some that are burnt down the middle on the curling, but nothing obvious. Nothing.
Well, so hope for the best with the next crop.
Yeah.
Check the label.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
like
it's
you're
supposed
saying,
to be okay.
Yeah.
But check the label, and I bet you there's a temperature.
You didn't open that too. You guys,
They don't care. It's like,
as long as you don't know my name, I guess I'll run for it. Let's see. It looks like some kind of scales grew up on there.
No. So what we're looking at now is all these bumps on the
yellow bumps on it.
You know, when I saw
it does
that,
look like an insect or a little housing.
I'm putting my fingernail through them.
If Mark doesn't show up tomorrow.
You know what that stem looks like? It looks like a 4 o'clock stem. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, initially?
Yeah. Huh. When when you were a little ways away.
It's my favorite tycoon tomato.
Yeah.
Like I said, just usually wonderful stuff.
There's no insect inside the lumps.
Oh, good.
Well, they would be dead with my fingernail.
No, no.
Well, and it's such an orderly arrangement of the
I
bumps.
just think it's some reaction to the
Could very well be
insecticide that was on there. Like I say, most
or fungicide,
don't do that. But I bet you. Bet you $1.
Reaching deep now.
No. I bet you $1 that my theory on that temperature.
Oh, the temperature?
Temperature spraying when it's too hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll relieve you of this.
Okay.
Well,
I'll take it.
He's convenient garbage. Let it go.
We'll take it later.
Okay. So
take it to the sanitary room, which we have.
Thank you, sir. You want to hang on a second and.
Do we want to take his name in case we get some more theories on that? Or?
Okay, we'll do that during the break.
Okay.
All right, 210-308-8867. More coming up on Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 and Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867 is our number. 210-308-8867, or like the nice folks that came and visited just now. I think Mark's continuing to help them. You can come by and visit in person, and that would have been difficult to diagnose over the air. So,
yeah.
So it's sometimes it's better if you come out in person and we can talk to you. So 210.
Well, of course, it was difficult to diagnose in person.
Yeah, in person too. So you're going to
just kind of an unusual.
Yeah,
look.
It does look space alien-y. It just,
the reason I wanted to have it described is because if somebody has seen that before, from spraying that particular product or from the heat or whatever it was, that they might recognize it because it's a pretty distinctive pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks a little bit like the damage you see when you get wind scraping the tomato plant on the cage. But he says it's a real settled situation out of the wind. So that may not be it, and it is a pretty. The pattern is pretty regular. That's a kind of a strange.
It was
thing
consistent,
too.
yeah. Oh, James is on the line at 210-308-8867. Thank you for reminding me, Al. James, welcome to the show. You got a rain report you're going to start off with?
Yeah. First off, before I forget, happy Father's Day to all three of y'all.
You too. Are they taking you out for barbecue?
No, my daughter is making, she's got a recipe she's proud of for homemade Romano meatballs. She's making a batch of those, and I'm told we're having subs or hoagies, meatball hoagies tomorrow.
Now, James, as far as I know, Mark and Milton do not have kids. So if you're looking for somebody to share that food with, I do have kids.
Well,
I have 1.7.
Al told me he didn't have any, so I already invited him over.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yeah.
Hey, are you walking? Your phone sounds funny.
You sound like you're walking around.
In the wind.
No, I'm actually sitting. It's the wind, Calvin. You hit it right on. I'm actually sitting in a lounge chair about 2 feet from a swamp cooler.
Okay.
So that's the wind you're hearing.
That's the wind. Okay, see if you can adjust yourself so that.
Okay, hold on.
That's
I can turn the fan off while I'm on the call. Is that better?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now I got to turn down the radio some more. Okay, rain report. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I was checking my rain gauge. I guess it was Thursday afternoon. I got just shy of 7.5 inches in a few hours. It was incredible.
Wow.
It is. I had not seen water standing in this. I've lived here. I've owned the property longer, but I've lived here for close to 20 years, and I only remember once or twice a long time ago where I've seen water standing in the sand hours after it quit raining.
Oh, that's right. You're in the sand.
I was going to say, you're in northern Atascosa in the sand, aren't you?
Correct. And my property flows or slopes from northwest to southeast. And at the southeast corner of my property, there's a culvert that goes under the roadway, and the water was over the culvert up to the top of the road. And my front yard's roughly an acre, a little over an acre, and about a third of it was a lake. I have a little 12-foot aluminum boat I used to troll on the rivers and fish, and I was tempted to get it out and do a little paddling, but I didn't.
The problem on that sand, and you would have gotten about 100 yards away, and then the water would all be gone,
Yeah, it subsided in a couple of hours. But anyway, it was strange to see. It came down quick. And on that point, to kind of validate my rain gauge measurements, I found this website, raindrop.farm, like farmers, raindrop.farm. It's pretty interesting. And calling some of my buddies and whatnot, getting their rain reports, this website or app is pretty spot on. I don't know the technology it uses, but that's something you might want to check into.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's interesting.
Raindrop.farm. Yeah, I'd never seen it before. So
does it use a lot of sites, locations?
I don't know.
You can move it all around. You can pinpoint wherever you want to check the rainfall total. From what I can tell when I was playing around with it.
Well, we will look at that. Thanks, James.
Okay. Listen, I was mowing yesterday, but I was being careful because I got a lot of soft spots still that I was mowing around. And I was mowing around. I was mowing this stuff down, and I looked at it and stopped. It looks like purslane. I've got a patch of about a dozen or so. If it's purslane plants I'd never seen before. Is that stuff native here, purslane?
There is a native or wild purslane.
Well, how many of those?
I couldn't tell you in a field which one it is or not. So.
Well, if you really are fascinated by it and like it, I can give you all the purslane weeds that you want. Because in my neighborhood, purslane is a real common weed.
Okay, so it does grow here. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a nursery plant.
I was noticing just today that the ones I see have the little yellow blooms, which is kind of a strange.
Right.
Does it look a little like spurge, only low growing?
Well, but it's obviously a purslane, but I always expect a little more color out of the blooms.
No, I think yellow is what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is not blooming yet. It's got a few starting to show. It looks like it's going to be like an orange color. But so should I kill it out? Is it going to be invasive or a pest or?
Well,
or what?
probably not a problem in your sand. But yeah, it can. It's certainly invasive in heavier soils.
Okay.
It's looking like a farmer.
Or in containers. That's where it. One of the interesting things about it is that the birds like it. I guess when it's dry, they harvest some of those leaves, just like with the if you got moss roses growing.
Yeah, exactly, like moss rose or portulaca or purslane. And they're nice, juicy leaves.
Yeah, the leaves are somewhat attractive. They're lush looking, but gosh, yeah, they will fill up with containers, and they show up in the vegetable garden and in the flower garden too.
Hey, can I ask one more quick one, and then I got to get out of the heat, go back to the AC. This humidity you could cut with a butter knife easily.
It is thick.
Yeah.
Yes,
hey, in the area where I had the temporary lake on Thursday, out by the road, I planted, or my son and I planted nearly 20 years ago, 2 loblolly pines, and they're doing wonderful. They're real tall. I don't know how tall they are, probably pushing 30 feet, one of them, real full. And that's where the water was standing. Is that going to be detrimental to those trees? Too much water?
I would guess not, but I'm surprised. Have you got alkaline sand or acid sand?
No,
I've never had it tested. I don't know.
It's neutral, and that's about where you can grow it. There's sites in Wilson County where it's not really acidic, but it's close to it. It's about neutral. Yes, loblolly is another name is swamp pine. So
they like water then.
So
take it.
Yeah, you'll find them in the wetter parts of the southeast.
Well, you find them everywhere out in East Texas, everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you look at the lay of the land, the driest are going to be longleaf. Then you're going to find loblolly and slash down below.
Okay, so the trees driving I-10 to Houston, are those loblollies? Because I was assuming that's what I had, or are those different trees?
Mixtures of loblolly and slash and predominantly loblolly.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Again, y'all enjoy tomorrow.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to you. Enjoy the meal.
All right. Thank you.
210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. All right, got a couple minutes before we need to go to break. What do we need to make sure we cover? Anything we discussed? Did you want to talk about those 2 plants out there?
Yeah, well, let's mention these 2 really showy. There's 2 white blooming plants that the name is.
So I think they're the white
plumbago. Plumbago?
Yeah, the white plumbago.
But that's not
really
what you were
showy.
talking about, were you?
And it's right next to the blue plumbago,
which is really, really showy.
Mark, I think last week reminded us that it's as beautiful as it is not as doesn't bloom as much as the plumbago, but it certainly is worthy.
With the white one
in your landscape.
I really like that white one.
The white or the blue?
Yeah,
okay.
White.
And then help me on the pink and the white.
Yeah. So some lovely Gara, and that is not well known in most San Antonio gardens, but it is a native plant. And they had some whitish ones. I mean, I've never seen a white Gara like that.
Now, Gara will, if you got a heavier soil, they will spread.
Yeah.
And they're a great plant for the pollinizers, but they're a nectar source, but they are a little hard to manage at times.
Yeah. It's, should we say, informal habit?
That's if you like. They spread. I was going to say they're like mistflower, but mistflower doesn't take over your whole landscape like these can in some places. But they are very attractive in terms of the bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an informal, I put them kind of in the same league as the shrimp plant, the Turk's cap, except they like. Well, I was going to say they require full sun, but that's not absolutely true. They'll spread through a relatively shady area, and then get really thick when there is full sun.
All right, so 2 choices, and then I'm going to ask you about another one that's on sale when we come back from the break. 210-308-8867.
You're such a professional.
210-308. Hey, is that some milkweed out there in the little wagon? All right, back in a moment on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson and Dr. Calvin Finch. And come by and visit with us like the folks here now, or you can call us at 210-308 like James did, 210-308-8867. So one of the plants that's on sale, and this is a big sale on this one, so I want to learn more about it, is bulbine, which I think is is it right there? Is it the yellow?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know where you were pointing.
Oh, sorry. And the number one pot is normally $9.99. Now it's 50% off. So you want to talk about that? Is that
which plant is it?
The bulbine.
Bulbine?
Oh, the yellow one.
Yeah,
it's the yellow version.
Yeah.
Known for attracting bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds.
That's right, and it does not attract the deer. The deer don't generally eat it.
Really?
Well, they like the flowers, but they're not going to. They may nibble on the leaves, but they won't eat it.
That man is checking it out. So where would you put it? Just full sun? I'm guessing it likes full sun.
Full sun.
Full sun. More sun than full sun, if possible. Yeah. Do you get a lot of hummingbird action on them? Do you have any at your place or no?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the hummingbirds like them.
Yeah, we need to watch them.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he heard me talking about them.
The hummingbird?
What? Where? No. The man that bought one. So good choice, sir.
It's an excellent plant.
Okay.
It is in the aloe family.
Oh. So that
broad aloe family. So there is some frost or freeze sensitivity.
Okay. But it'll work through it?
In most years.
Okay.
Certainly not 2021 or 2022.
Okay.
But
those were...
Most years. Those were extremely cold years.
Yep.
Well, if anybody has had experience with it, and maybe we'll bring this up tomorrow too, on whether the deer have eaten it, even the blooms, let us know. Mark, have you grown it or seen it where the deer have eaten it?
I have heard from stories. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard that the blooms are tasty.
Okay. So if you've grown ball bean, and tell us what experience you've had with deer, because I've heard that they are not much interested in it, and so it'll be interesting to match to see what the experience is. And that's not unusual.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those, even those subtropical plants that we've talked about a lot. Point Sienna and the others, in some neighborhoods, the deer have kind of munched on them. Other neighborhoods, they're not interested in them. So, but I've always thought of the bulbine as not being eaten by the deer.
Okay.
But could be. I haven't grown it. So.
What is the big purple blooming thing almost right before the sidewalk in front of the citrus? I have a theory, but I'm not sure.
Well, that's Fanic phlox.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, you were talking about that last week, so we have Fanic phlox here, I guess.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's got a wonderful fragrance, and it's a relatively easy plant to grow. Grow in a container, large. If you give it a big half whiskey barrel size, it'll fill it up. It'll also grow in your flower garden, and take make a nice rounded plant with lots of blooms and a wonderful fragrance.
Yeah, I used to.
And what is it?
Fennec phlox?
No, but what is Fennec phlox? A
Texas Superstar.
That's correct.
Okay. But yeah, I used to have one in a container when we first started talking about them, and it was on a little patio, and you had to walk. I don't know how to describe it in such a way, but you walked up the sidewalk, and then you made a turn to get in the house, and then turned the patio, and you could just smell it. You couldn't smell it before you made the turn, but as soon as you made that turn, it's like, woof, man, that smells good.
Well, we tell this story, and this was years ago when the first time that Milberger's had it. And it was out in front of us here at the... And we smelled it, and I said, oh, wow, what is that fragrance? Smell just reminded me of lilac. It's got a fragrance like lilac.
Wow.
And so we started, and a couple of gardeners came and said, yeah, that sure does. And before we knew it was on, I think, a Saturday, and it sold everything out by Sunday. Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and it's not only very attractive and those wonderful fragrance, but easy to grow, which is which is pretty unusual for a phlox. This one comes back every year in a container, or every year if it's in a good spot in the garden. So you might, if you get a chance to come over to Milberger's, you might want to get
Okay, but talk in the mic.
Yeah, you might want to get a smell of the fragrance.
Yeah.
And check it out. It's very attractive.
That's
plant.
what I thought it was. I was like, wait, I thought we said we didn't have any, and we got some. Yay.
They just started blooming. Mine just started blooming.
Oh, did it?
Yesterday.
Maybe we had it before and it wasn't blooming.
That's the only thing. It's a later bloomer.
Okay.
So June, July.
Okay. But it'll bloom through through July?
Oh, gosh. Well, it goes into the winter until the cold weather gets.
It'll spread, too, right?
Huh?
You said it'll spread. You said it'll fill out a whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll bloom. It'll bloom until the cold weather shows up.
Very cool. All right.
But it is later in June.
Okay.
Before it gets full flowering.
Okay. Well, we're almost later in June, too, so this is good. And Al wanted everybody to know he saw a deer eating mesquite Thursday at the Walker Ranch parking lot.
Who said that?
Okay. Al back at the studio.
Oh.
So, do deer eat mesquite?
Yes.
And how?
The pods, before they're fully formed.
I've got a question for Mark on this.
Sweet honey mesquite.
Oh.
Honey mesquite is
Mark, what is the small tree-like plant that has the very sharp thorns and almost like hackberry leaves, and it has some berries on it.
Yeah, and they're orangey, spiny hackberry.
Spiny hack. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so spiny, and then you said, hackberry-shaped leaves. They have a little dentate on one side usually, or two sides, so they have a little tooth.
And
you have experience.
I have been cutting some of them out because they are a wonderful plant for a wildlife thicket. But I know at Mitchell Lake we used to
there
protect
you go.
them.
That's where I first learned about them. It's on the upland trails at Mitchell Lake, and they are a source. A resource for the snubnose.
Oh.
What do we call it again? Snubnose, hackberry?
Oh, the butterfly, snubnose.
Butterfly. Anyway, hackberry butterfly.
I think that's right.
Okay.
But
anyway, that's one of their main sources where they lay their eggs.
Well, if you have those and
snub-nosed
you don't like the thorns.
Yes.
That's one of those that you cut at the base.
Yeah.
And then you apply the
our favorite.
Yeah. Stump and vine killer. Yeah.
Snout-nosed, maybe.
Snout-nosed. There we go.
Yeah, there is a snub-nosed monkey, but...
No. It doesn't fly either. No, we want the snout-nosed.
Snout-nosed.
Blackberry butterflies.
And I saw, actually, one of the neighbors says it was... I did cutting out mine, pruning those out and applying the cut vine and stump killer. But then one of the neighbors was also doing that, and he had a pile out there. And it just kind of surprised me. The deer were there harvesting between those thorns and getting the leaves.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're tasty, just like a regular hackberry is tasty. So yeah, I can see that.
That is not something you would feed on and not be alert.
No.
Yeah. Because even when you're pruning them, you get chopped up.
Yeah. Penalty for failure is high.
All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Still time, about 4 minutes. Give us a call if you've thought of that question real quick. We'll see if we can't get to you.
We got lots of tropical milkweed here. Mm-hmm. And let's see, of course, the lantanas, lots of lantanas in bloom, especially the golden lantana. Are some of those on sale, lantanas?
Let me check. I'm double checking. I don't want to say until I double check. Oh, I got something happened.
We have a lot of new gold on there.
Yeah. And the new gold is one that spreads.
Some of the appears to be Dallas red, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And the other
variations.
The other one, the Ruellia, that dwarf Mexican petunia, is in bloom. It really makes a nice ground cover.
So it looks like they are for sale, but there's a lot of great things on sale. I mentioned the Bullbine. Cannas are on sale. Texas Lilac, Vitex, Art, pomegranates, the fertilizer. Yep, so lots of great things. But and then in the I didn't get to, what's on sale is the Vinca, Cora Series Vinca.
Lots of Vinca
number 4-inch pot, 6 for $10.
Some of the figs we've talked about.
Yeah, the figs are for sale.
That before, I believe.
Yeah. The Confederate Jasmine, Star Jasmine,
talk about
2888 or 2 for $50. Yeah. When you walk back there where they're for sale, you'll notice them too. Variegated flax lily. I know you kind of your ears perked up about that one.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a lovely combo with Liriope to use in those very shady shady areas.
Okay, it's normally $24.99 in the number 3 pot. It's 50% off, so that's a great deal. Mm-hmm. Citrus is on sale, 25% off. Yes, sir.
What about the foliage plants that we use in the shade over there? They're not. Are they?
No, they're not.
They're not on sale.
They're on sale. They're for sale, but not on sale.
Yeah, they look. You got. Of course, we got the two different color versions there. They're pretty showy.
Yeah, those are pretty. Are they? Those aren't caladium, are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are caladium. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they. I think one of the problems is that the deer eat them, so you got to be a little bit careful about that. But they're very attractive, and they grow in the shade, showy, and of course we got lots and lots of begonias. Mm-hmm. Still waiting for our begonia.
Where is that whopper?
And I did plant one of my
whoppers.
Whopper, yeah.
Milton and I are talking about making. Trying to get some to root. We've got some from that we survived last year, but and meanwhile, I think a lot of nurseries, retail nurseries, are waiting for the wholesale nurseries to get some on the market.
And still some zinnias. Calvin, I want to compliment you. Great idea on the zinnias. I showed you my mailbox zinnia patch, didn't I? It's wonderful. We drive by it every day, and it's like, this is great. I'm just scared. When will they kind of go kaput? Will it take cold weather?
What? Zinnias?
Yeah.
Well, cold weather, unless we get in a if they're in an area where there's not air movement, or
no, that's not the case.
Where they're thick together, you can get some fungal problems. But if they're by a mailbox, generally some of them will recede.
Oh,
too.
I hope so. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
There's the purple and the yellows, and they're gorgeous. And those are from seed. I mean, that was like, wow.
I know Milton never did believe that they were zinnias.
No, I didn't.
Until they started blooming.
Well, they bloom weird, too. They got the bud, and it just kind of goes like you think, is that it? That's all I'm going to get? And then they kind of come out.
Well, and they sprout pretty quickly from seed.
Yeah.
And, and then they're surprisingly, they start blooming and pretty quickly, and full sun.
Yep. So, listen, we got to run. We'll continue talking about this tomorrow. Thanks to Al for doing a great job. Thanks to y'all for listening. I'm Milton Glueck. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.